guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm April Plank and I'm going to be taking you through a reformer class using the maple pole. Now I like the pole that comes from the tower because I can hook everything up to these little knobs. If you don't have that, you can use a dowel rod, but we'll have to change a little bit of the length of your straps to make that work for you. So I'm going to actually start with connecting my straps to my maple pole and then just setting it kind of down into the well, and I'll reach for it later. I'm going to be on 3 springs and I've got my foot bar up, and let's get ready with some footwork. So I'm going to go ahead and lay all the way down. I'm going to start with my heels on about sits bones distance apart, arms resting down to the sides, tailbone nice and heavy, ribs drawing in, abs drawing in. Inhale, take the carriage out, and exhale, resist in. Big deep breath out, and nice strong exhale back in. Really think of squeezing those muscles in towards the bones, activating those legs, getting that full extension, and then resisting it back in. What I love about footwork is you're working that resistance in both ranges. So you're engaging and pushing against the spring as you go out, and then resisting the spring from pulling you back in too quickly. So not a lot of great leg work here. I want you to do that one more time out and in, and then come halfway out and just start with a little bit of pulsing. So 1 inch out, 1 inch in. And I like to exhale as I pulse in, inhale as I pulse out. Every exhale, drive that navel a little deeper in towards the spine, pull those ribs in, reach the arms longer. Start to make those pulses a little bit bigger. So a little bit bigger in and out, until you're almost doing a full press out and in, but you're not really touching the top and you're not really touching the bottom. You're just doing a nice fluid press, keeping the work right in the belly of the muscle for 4, 3, 2, go all the way out, full extension, and then bring it in. Good. Take the balls of the feet where the heels were, lift your heels nice and high. Let's go back out and back in. So to start in our practice, warming up the big muscles of the body, glutes, hamstrings, quads, and bringing our focus, our attention to our breathing and into our core. Working at a pace and a tempo that feels good for you. Just make sure you're not going so quickly that you're losing your focus and you're starting to move and rock unnecessarily. Good. Let's just do a few more of those full extensions out and in. And then I want you to come halfway and let's start those little pulses. So now you've got to focus on keeping the heels lifted, keeping all 10 toes rooted down onto the carriage, keeping your tailbone heavy, using those 1 inch pulses, really squeezing through the legs. Start to make them a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger until eventually you're almost touching the top, almost coming to the bottom, but just keeping the belly of the muscle warm and engaged. Nice. Last 4, 3, 2, go all the way out. Lower the heels down, 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 and lift them up, up, up. And again, lower and lift. Feel the whole back of the legs release. Do that 2 more times. When you're at the top the next time, hold it. Right heel's going to go down as the left knee bends. Come back up to the top and switch to the other side. So a little bit of running. The goal here is to keep your hips square and still as you're changing your weight from side to side. Dropping one heel down and then dropping the other heel. You can start to pick up the pace if it feels good for you. Just make sure you're controlling the springs and not letting the springs control you. Really good job, you guys. Last 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Lift both heels, hold. Slide your heels together, bend your knees wide, and let's push out again. Squeezing the heels together, resisting the springs back in. Almost like you're zipping up the whole inseam of the legs. So from the heels all the way to the pelvic floor, squeeze and then resist it back in. Squeeze it in and resist it back. Again, every exhale, I'm drawing that corset on, feeling in my transverse abdominals, just engage and hold. We've got 2 more to go here. And then I want you to go into that halfway position. Let's do another little set of those pulses. So heels glued together, heels lifted high in space, 1 inch out, 1 inch in. Pulling that pelvic floor in and up every time you pulse the breath out and press yourself in towards the carriage. All right, let's start to make it a little bit bigger, until eventually you're almost all the way out, almost all the way in. You're keeping that heel connection, using the breath. 10. You've got it. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Full extension, push and press, pull it all the way back in. Take the heels wide, flex your feet, and let's push out all the way and then back in. So the heels are as wide as they can go on the bar, toes are turned out, feet in alignment with the knees. Try to keep your tailbone heavy here. It's a little easier to let the tailbone roll up in this turned out position. So I'm trying to really drive my tailbone down to the carriage and keep my pelvis nice and square. The other thing I like to think of when I'm doing this exercise, when I'm pushing out, it's kind of like I'm sliding my heels towards each other. They're not going to move at all, but I've got this engagement of the inner thighs by squeezing my heels in towards the midline as I push out. Good. You've got 2 more full presses, and then we're going to do that halfway in little pulses. 1 inch out, 1 inch in. Now you can really focus on that squeezing of the feet, pushing them firmly into the foot bar, almost dragging your heels towards each other without them actually physically moving. Start to make it a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger. A little bit bigger until you're doing almost all the way out, almost all the way in. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go all the way out, bring it in, and release. Good. Bring the heels on, sits bones distance apart. Now I always keep my headrest down, so mine's already down. If your headrest was up, go ahead and lay it flat for our bridging. We're going to peel the spine up, 1 vertebrae at a time, articulating through the back until the weight is in the shoulders. Straight line from the shoulders to the knees. Start your pressing all the way out on the inhale, and then back in on the exhale. So today we're going to play around with our spring weight on the bridges. The more weight that you have on the carriage, the harder it is to push out. And the muscles that are pushing out are the glutes. So it's going to be harder on the glutes. We're going to start to decrease our weight. And as you decrease the weight, you're going to start to feel that it's going to be harder to pull the carriage in, which is going to be a little more load on the hamstrings. So we're going to see how low we can go with our weight today. Just 1 more out, 1 more in. Roll yourself all the way down. Now we're going to have to change our weight, so let's do a little abdominal exercise to transition. Bring your legs over the foot bar. You can bend your knees and kind of grab onto the foot bar with the legs. Reach the arms over the head. Take an inhale. Exhale, scoop and roll yourself all the way up. Taking a roll up. You can hold onto the bar if you need to. You don't need to, then don't do it. Sit really tall. Take an inhale. And then we're going to take 1 spring off. So now you are at 2 red springs. All right, let's take it back down. Take a breath here to prepare. Exhale, scoop and roll all the way down. Once your head is down, arms resting to the sides, second bridge. Feet sits bones distance apart. Flex your feet, you're on your heels. Roll your spine up one vertebrae at a time. Come into the bridge, and here we go, pushing out and in. So just notice the difference that you feel from the last bridge we did. For me, I feel in this weight, it's kind of even. It's not too hard to push out, not too hard to pull in. I feel a little bit more stability having to happen here than when I had 3 springs. So I definitely feel like more of the smaller muscles are starting to kick in to help hold my hips square, to hold my legs in position, because the carriage doesn't have a lot of weight helping me. Give me 2 more out and in. Once you're in, come all the way to the bumper, hold yourself there so you're actively working the legs, and then you're gonna roll yourself all the way down. Good, let's transition again. Take the legs long. You can hold the legs long, or you can hold on to the foot bar if you need it with the legs. Arms are gonna reach to the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, nod the chin, lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Come into that roll up all the way up. And then let's take the weight down. Go on to a red and a blue. So take a red off and put a blue on. So you've got 1 red, 1 blue, or 1 heavy and 1 medium. Take an inhale and then exhale and slowly roll yourself all the way down. All right, here we go. Round 3 of bridges. Heels on, sits bones distance apart. Roll your spine up 1 vertebrae at a time. And here we go. Inhale as you push, exhale as you pull in. Now I'm really starting to feel the difference in the carriage. Easy to push out, hard to pull back in. So try to come all the way back in. So it's going to be easier to try to limit your range of motion and just stay out, but really use those legs, use your hamstrings and drive it into the bumper. Try to kiss that bumper every time you come in. Give me 2 more. Last one, hold it in, connect to the bumper, and then roll your spine down. All right, moving down again. Take those legs over the foot bar. Take the arms up to the ceiling. Nice big breath to prepare, and then exhale, roll yourself up. 1 big roll up all the way up. All right, we're dropping it to 1 heavy spring. That's 1 red on my machine. Take everything else off. So you have 1 red spring on. Arms to the ceiling or reach in front of you. Inhale, and then exhale, scoop, and roll yourself all the way down. Arms to the sides. Bring your heels on, hips distance apart, sits bones distance apart. Roll yourself up. Here we go. Take it easy on the way out. Very easy to go out. Squeeze it back in. Good. Now I'm almost having to switch my feet a little bit in this one, kind of coming more to the insole, the middle of the foot, and having to kind of wrap a little bit and pull with the hamstrings. I'm also focused on pushing down into the feet to fire up those hamstrings. 3 more. 2 more. Give me 1 more really good pull in. Hold it in. Roll it down. Awesome job, you guys. Take the knees into the chest. Give that back a little stretch. Okay, we are on 1 red spring, or a heavy spring for me, and I'm going to start using the bar now. So in order to get the bar, I'm just going to push all the way out, and I'm going to grab onto it. So it should be all connected and ready to go, but just kind of hanging out in the well. And then I'm going to make sure that the bar is right out in front of me and chest height. Wiggle a little bit from your shoulder blocks. Take your legs and lift them into tabletop. So our mid-back series, only we have the bar instead of the straps. Take an inhale. On your exhale, you're going to send your bar down. As you pull the bar down, you're going to have to send your legs away because they're going to be in the way, and reach the legs long, and then come back, arms to the ceiling, legs to tabletop. So big exhale, the arms go to the hips, the legs go long, bar comes to the thighs. Inhale, back up to tabletop. Big exhale to press. Inhale to come in. Option, you could lift the head. So next time you press, you can lift your head, neck, and shoulders, and then you can lower the head back down. If at any point you feel this is too much work in the neck, keep the head down. You definitely don't want to overdo anything with the neck. So if it feels like it's too challenging, just keep the head all the way onto the mat. Big exhales as you lift. I want you to do that 2 more times, and then we're going to hold the second one up. All right, so this one, take it up and hold. Keep the head lifted if you can. Bend your elbows and straighten your arms. So I'm showing you the most advanced first. Your legs are staying nice and long, and you're doing a tricep press. Make it easier by bending the elbows and the knees, straightening the arms and the legs. So that's going to take a little pressure off of the abdominals. Give yourself a break every time you come in and out. You can also lower the head when you bend, lift the head when you straighten. So all options that you can find something that'll work best for your body and how you're feeling today. 3 more to go. Last 2. 1 more. Hold this one out. The arms are going to go up to the ceiling. You're going to bend your elbows, push it out. Arms go up, bend, and push. Again, I'm doing the most advanced. Head up, legs long if you need to. Legs to tabletop, head down. 1 more in this direction. When you're back to the ceiling, let's switch it. Go down to the thighs, bend the elbows, reach up to the ceiling. Straighten, bend, and reach. Last 3. Last 2. Nice and long through those legs. And 1 more. Arms to the ceiling, legs down, bending, head down. Put your feet down, and we're going to push out. Take the feet onto the bar. I like to slide my feet up against the silver brackets so my feet are wide. That gives me a little bit more support. Arms are going to rest to the sides. Your shoulders are probably going to be up against the shoulder blocks because you'll need a lot of room so you don't hit the very edge of the reformer. We're going to push the legs all the way long and pull it back in. Or maybe it's just me because I'm tall. I really feel like I'm way up here in the hardware as I'm pushing out. But if I'm up against the shoulder blocks, I definitely have enough room to push to full extension. So you're pushing all the way out and all the way back in. Now you can keep that tailbone grounded and limit your knee bend. For me, I do like to do a bigger bend and almost come into, again, that imprint where my low back's pushing, just to give my back a little stretch, and then I push. I'm working a little bit more mobility through the back, which feels good for my back. Let's do 2 more with this bend and stretch. And then the next time the legs are straight, we're going to just take them straight up to the ceiling and then press them straight back down. So it's a big inhale as you go up, and then exhale as you press down. Feel that stretch at the back of the legs as the legs go high. Really try to recruit and engage the glutes as you send the legs away from you. Last 2. So again, if you're working with just a maple pole and you're threading it through the straps, you'll need to play around a little bit with your weight and maybe with where the pole is and how long your straps are, so you get the same feeling. But hopefully you have a roll down bar because these are nice that they stay connected to the straps. Give me 1 more. The next time the legs are down, you're going to stay there for a moment and then bend the knees into the chest. Take the legs straight up to the ceiling and then press them down. So making a little bit of a circle. So bend the knees in, push the legs straight up, and then press the legs away. Bending in, reach to the ceiling and squeezing back down. Good, let's do 3 more in this direction. Keeping that tailbone grounded, feeling that good stretch as the legs go up to the ceiling. Feel that lengthening through the back of the legs. This will be your last one in this direction. And then the legs are going to go down straight and you're going to reverse the direction. So start by going up to the ceiling first. Bend the knees in and then push the carriage out. Going all the way up with the legs. bending to tabletop and extending the legs long. Good. Nice job. Just a few more in this direction. Enjoy this now. We will be coming up. No more laying down after this. Last two. And then give me one more. Up, bend, big press, come home. To come out, just hold the bar with your hands, pop your feet out back onto the foot bar. And I'm just going to set the pole down, and it might go to the floor based on the make of your reformer. Just let it go down and bring the carriage home. All right, let's roll off to the side. I'm going to have you change your weight to a red and blue, or a heavy and a medium, and then you're going to sit facing the shoulder blocks. So I want about a hand's distance between the back of the reformer and your bottom, and then you're going to reach forward and grab that pole. Now cross your ankles if you need to. My legs don't really fit, so I'm going to have my legs crossed, and then I'll switch that cross in a moment. So I'm going to sit really tall, taking an inhale. Exhale, tuck your tailbone, scoop, and just start to roll yourself slightly back. Hold that position with your spine, and then bend your arms, bringing the pole to your chest, and then release the arms. So you're doing a high elbow row, focusing on the shoulders sliding down your back, and then releasing nice and slow. Good. Keep that low belly drawing in, keeping that scooped position through the abdominals. Even though you're scooped through the abdominals, you're not scooped through the shoulders. Shoulders back and down, chest broad. Let's do two more pulls straight to the chest, and then we're going to start going side to side. So next time, drop your right side of the pull down and row more to the right. And then drop the left pull down and row more to the left. So getting a little more oblique as you come to the diagonal here. So exhale, rotate, and exhale, rotate. Good. Nice work, everybody. Let's do 4 more so we even it out. So right and left, right and left. Last 2, and last 1. Come all the way up, sit yourself up, and lean forward from the hips. Let the pole pull you a little bit, and then you can even bring it to the other side of the feet, and if you'd like, just kind of lean forward. Whatever feels good for your body. So you're just going to give your back a little stretch for a second. Now I like to rest the pole on my feet and change my weight, so hopefully that works for you. You're going to take the blue off, you're left with a red. Pick up the pole again. This time your palms are going to be up. You're holding on the outside of the hardware. You're going to take an inhale. Exhale, just hinge your spine back slightly and do a bicep curl. So you're bringing that bar up towards your face and then releasing it back down. Now the higher your elbows go, the more intensity you'll feel. So if you don't feel enough, just lift those elbows a little higher. I feel like mine are fine a little lower. It feels better on my neck. But you choose a position that works for you today. Do that 2 more times. On your next time, hold the arms bent. You're going to round your back and roll a little bit farther back. So now you're in a scooped position. Your right elbow is going to lean like you're trying to touch your elbow to the carriage and then bring it back up. Your left elbow is going to lean to touch the carriage and then back up. So it's a little bit of a tap side and center and side and center. So we've got a little isometric work here for the biceps, which means we're not moving the biceps, but they're definitely engaged, definitely holding the carriage still as you rock side to side, working those obliques. 4 more to go, guys. And 3, and 2. Give me 1 more to the left. Come back to the center, roll yourself up, and take that little forward bend. Again, I'm going to rest the pole on my feet, change it to a blue spring, and take your red spring off. So I've got a medium spring. I'm also going to change my feet. So pick the pole back up. If you have your feet crossed, cross the other way. If you don't have to cross your feet, then you stay exactly where you are. We're going to sit up nice and tall. Take an inhale. On your exhale, I want you to pull the bar towards you and then push it to the ceiling, bring it back into you and release it. So I'm going to break this one down in a few different options. So this would be the great starting place to work on an overhead press. So you're coming in with the bar, pushing up, coming in and releasing. Second option is a little bit harder. You're going to come in with a bent arm, go to the ceiling, and then take a straight arm all the way back home. So you're making more of a circle, coming in and up and all the way forward. In and up, all the way forward. Third option is even more challenging. The arms are going to stay straight the whole time. Very important as the arms go up, the shoulders stay down, the ribs stay down, the abs stay on. If you need to drop to a yellow spring, that would be fine as well. Use your breath here. 2 more to go. Last one here, nice and strong press. Come all the way forward and release. Good job. Last one here, you guys. So just take a forward bend, whatever feels comfortable on your back, just giving it a little rest for a moment. All right, back to a little bit of a different bicep curl. Coming all the way up. You're going to sit up nice and tall. Exhale, scoop and roll back. Bend the arms and hold. So again, we are not going to move the arms too much. So what you're going to do is move from the shoulders up and down. So reach the arms up, bring them back down. Reach up and down. If you're doing it right, the carriage is moving. If you're going out here and the carriage isn't moving, you're not going to feel it. So push that bar like you're rolling it straight up to the ceiling, back down, straight up to the ceiling, back down for 4, 3, 2. You've got 1 more to go, and then come all the way in and relax. Awesome job. Okay, take a quarter turn to your left. Come into a mermaid position with your right shin against the shoulder blocks, your left leg in front. I actually like to drop to a yellow spring for this one. That's my lightest spring. Turn the right palm to face up. Take the left hand to the carriage. Bring this right hand by your ear. You're going to take an inhale here, and then as you exhale, lean over and push that bar all the way up and over the head. So you're getting a lateral flexion of the spine and an overhead extension with the right arm. So big press and reach, and inhale back in. If it's available to you, your left elbow can actually come down onto the carriage. If that doesn't feel right, then just bend the left arm and come a little bit over to the side. Whatever feels best for your spine. Just getting that nice lean across the body. Do that 2 more times. 1 more time. Good. Now don't let the spine lean. You're going to keep the spine upright. Take the left arm out. Both arms are going to come over the head like a halo, and both arms down. Not too many of these because this is hard. Exhaling up, but you've got it. Just stay with your breath. 3 more. Last 2. Do what you can. And here's your last one. Awesome job. All right, moving on. The strap that's to the right, I want you to unhook that and just set it down into the well. Take it back to a blue spring, medium spring. Take the light spring off, and then come to kneeling facing the same way. I like to scoot back so my feet aren't rubbing against the wood. I'm in the middle of the carriage. Your foot bar hand, the left hand, should go on the bottom. The right hand is on the top, and you're holding it kind of like a baseball bat. You're going to sit nice and tall. It's over on your right. You're going to bring it all the way to the left and all the way back to the right. So a little torso twist left and torso twist right. Think of wrapping the ribs around, using the abdominals to rotate. Good. 2 more times with that twist and rotation. Good. Come back to where you started. Don't do anything with your left hand. Turn your pole horizontal and move your right hand to the far side. So now you're holding the bar horizontal. You're going to pull it into you like a chest press, twist your torso and punch it away. Twist your torso and bring it back to where you started. So it's rotate, press, rotate, release. Rotate, press, rotate, release. Keep your hips square to the front. So even though you're rotating, it's not from your hips. The rotation is coming from your waist. If you feel too much in the neck, the arms can go low. They don't have to be shoulder height. They can be nice and down. 2 more, and then we've got a little bonus round. So you notice right now we're doing a bend and straighten, bend and release. Let's try 4 with straight arms only. So come across and back 4 times. And across and back. Rotate from that waist. Last 2. And 1 more. Awesome job. All right, hold the pole with your right hand. I like to hold the foot bar with my left hand just for balance, as long as you've got one that locks in place. So I'm holding the foot bar. I'm going to take a quarter turn to the right and put my feet up against the shoulder blocks. The pole's on my right side. I'm going to bring it all the way around. The right hand's going to hold where the strap is. My left hand's holding where there's no strap. And I'm having the pole right by my chest for a chest press. Take an inhale and then exhale. Push the pole just out in front of you and bring it back. Now let it pull you a little to the right for oblique twist. Exhale, twist and press. Inhale, release and twist. So you get a little oblique and then press through the shoulder. Now certainly blue is a pretty challenging spring, you guys, so if you feel like you need less, then you can always drop that to a yellow or a high yellow, which would be putting the spring on the top. Last 2 if your reformer does that. Good, last one here. Now let's isolate it, no twist. 6 outright presses, 6 and 5 and 4. You've got it. 3 and 2 and 1. Good job. Release. All right, let's make a quick change. So hold the foot bar for safety, come all the way off. All you're going to do is unhook the strap that's on and rehook the other strap that you took off originally. So now you have a strap on the left side. We're going to come back to that kneeling. Hold the foot bar for balance. Put your feet up against the shoulder blocks. Hold the pole with your left hand. Bring that pole up and around you. So the strap is underneath my arm, close to the armpit. Take an inhale, sit tall. Tuck your tailbone, pull your abs in. Exhale, press the arms forward. Come back in, little twist. Forward, press, back, and twist. If this again is too much, you have the option of coming down to seated. That's a great place to start. I'm kind of showing you the most advanced position, which is kneeling, but seated is a nice option as well. Good, we've got 2 more with the twist. And now no twist, just isolate through the chest. Press. Good, feel that left arm working. 2 more to go. And 1 more here. Good job. All right, hold the pole with the left hand. Take the right hand to the foot bar for your balance. Take a quarter turn to your left, coming to the knees. Again, you can scoot back. That pole this time is going to be held like a baseball bat. Right hand's going to be on the bottom. Your weight is coming to the bottom, if you can see that. Your left hand is on the top of the hardware on the bottom. You're going to twist all the way to the right, twist back to the left. Think about this twist coming from your waistline, not from your hips. Doesn't have to be big. Most of the things in Pilates that are most effective are very small. So you want to isolate that motion, just that little twist of the rib cage. Really good job, you guys. 2 more twists, right and left. And 1 more. Don't do anything with your right hand. Keep it exactly as it is. Turn the pole parallel to the floor. Move the left hand to the side with no strap. You're going to pull it in towards you, punch it away, bring it back, and release it to your start. Pull it in, twist and punch, bring it back in and release. Good. Go lower if you need to with the arms. We've got 2 more with the bend and stretch. And then we're going to do our little bonus round with arms straight. So here we go. Keep the arms nice and straight 4 times, waist little across 4. And 3. And 2. Slow on the descent. 1 more. All the way over, all the way back. Good job. Step off of the reformer. Find that missing strap and hook it right on. Come back to your mermaid. So you're going to have your left leg up against the shoulder block, right leg in front, senior picture pose. Put on your very lightest spring, mine's a yellow. Take your other spring off, you wear it a blue. Your left hand's going to hold the bar with the palm up, right hand on the moving part of the carriage. You're going to lean your spine to the right as you reach and extend the left arm over your head. Stack your spine back up and extend the left arm to the tower. Exhale as you press, reach, and extend. Inhale back up. Again, if it feels available to you, you can come down to the right elbow, getting more of a stretch to the side. If that doesn't work, just bend the right arm and come down as much as you can. Good. Last 2 of this overhead press. And 1 more. Stack the spine back up, take both arms into a goalpost position, halo the arms, touch at the top, and then bring them back down to goalpost. So exhale, the arms go up to touch, and inhale, they come down. Use that breath. 4 more to go. And 3. And 2, and 1 more. Really good job. All right, let's step off the machine. You're going to keep your pull, but you don't need the strap. So I'm going to unstrap. I'm going to just restrap them back into the loops, just so they're there. And I'm going to keep my pull with me. All the springs are going on now, so you want every single spring to be on the machine. And you're going to grab your box, which I don't even know if I said you needed a box, but hopefully you have a box somewhere hanging beside you. If not, pause me, go grab a box, put it on shortwise, and then have a seat on your box. All right, so you're going to be sitting on your box, facing your foot bar, holding your pole. Reach down and grab your safety strap, put it onto your feet, and then slide your feet really wide. All your springs are on, so you should be nice and stable here. I like to sit at the front of my box and have my feet wide and that string nice and taut, or that safety strap taut. Reach the arms right out in front of you, shoulders down, abs in. Take an inhale, and then as you exhale, you're going to scoop your abdominals, roll yourself back, and come as far back as comfortable. We're going to take an inhale, let the pole rotate to the right. Exhale, center. Inhale, rotate the pole to the left. Exhale, center. So you're doing this little twist of the torso to the right and to the left and to the right and to the left. Let's do 1 more of each here. Come all the way to the center. Hold 6 times. Arms go up and over the head. Exhale. And 5, up. And 4, up. And 3. And 2. Awesome job. 1 more here. Take an inhale, roll yourself up, come over your legs, and recover. Awesome work. Short spine is like my nemesis. So I make myself do it for you guys. It's not an easy thing to do, but we need it, right? So on to our next one. So flat back or neutral spine. Reach the arms in front of you. Take an inhale. You're going to exhale, hinge your spine back along that imaginary line. Your spine's going to stay nice and long. Inhale, reach those arms nice and high. Find that little shaking point. It always gets me. And then exhale, bring it back. Good. Find how much length from fingertips to tailbone. Long, long, long spine. Pull it back in. 6 more to go, you guys. You can do it all the way up. Pull it back in. And 5. Don't tuck that tailbone. Keep your spine long. Keep those abs engaged. Last 2. Think someone's pulling that pole all the way to the other side of the room and back. 1 more here. Nice and long reach. And back. Bring it all the way up and release. Just take it forward and give your back a stretch. We are getting ready to spear some fish, which is a nice oblique exercise. All right, so come back up. Let's reach the arms up to the ceiling. When you do that, make sure you're not arching the back. Knit your ribs, pull your abs in. So arms go up, shoulders stay down. Take an inhale. Exhale, a little twist to the right. On the inhale, lift your left sit bone and try to dive to the back of the corner of the room. Exhale, press the sit bone back down, bring it back up. Inhale, twist to the center. Here we go again. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, lift your right sit bone, reach to the diagonal, reach, reach, reach. Exhale, pull it up, drop the sit bone down, twist to the center. And again, exhale, twist right. Inhale, lift and dive. Exhale, you spear that fish, bring it up, set the hip sit bone down, and back to the center. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, reach and dive. Exhale, back up. Inhale, center. And again, exhale, twist. Inhale, reach and dive. You've got 2 more, guys. Exhale, back up and center. 1 more. Lengthen the side body. Rotate on the exhale. Reach and extend. Exhale it back up. Bring it to the center. Release. Come all the way over your legs and relax. Awesome, awesome work. Not done yet though. Okay, come all the way up. Right foot's gonna come out of the box or out of the safety strap. You're gonna slide your left leg all the way to that front corner. Take a quarter turn and sit side saddle. So you want your hips to be square to the side. And it's almost like I'm grounded through this right sit bone and my left sit bone is not anywhere near the box. So I'm gonna be leaning out to the side and making sure this right grounded sit bone stays grounded. So I'm gonna push against that safety strap, give it a nice tug. That left leg should be active and the safety strap is holding you. So the leg isn't resting, it's pushing. Take that bar right to your chest, roll your shoulders back, pull your abs in, lean your right elbow down towards the floor, and then lift it back up. Keep pushing into that left leg with all of your might. Think about how long you can make your spine, not really how big you can make the motion. Long spine. I will probably not be able to talk during this. This is one of the most challenging ones, but we're going to try to do it together. 1 more down and up. And then go halfway and hold. Reach the arms over the head, pull them back in. Do it 5 more. And 4. Try to find that length. If this is too much, just hold the pole. And 2. And 1. Hold the pole at your chest, or for more options or more intensity, take the pole over your head 5 times down, up. 2 more. Last one. Good job. You can set the elbow onto the headrest. You can set the pole down. Reach the left arm towards the tower. Turn your left toes down slightly to feel that stretch. And I like to actually sometimes rotate my hips open to the ceiling, get a little stretch. And then maybe rotate them closed, get another stretch. Just kind of play with what feels good for you. And then the second stretch, we're going to take the left hand to the wood in front of you, the right hand to the wood behind you, and then just let your whole body release down into the well. And this is what makes that whole work worthwhile. I don't know if I would do all of that if it wasn't for this stretch. So just enjoy it. Hang out here as long as you like. All right, let's come up, grab your pole, and we have one more side to go. Okay, so here we go. We're going to turn onto the other side. Put your right foot back in the safety strap, slide it forward, take a quarter turn and turn so that now you can see from the back side, I have my left hip grounded, my right hip is hanging out in the air, and I'm pushing into that safety strap and I'm leaning. How much length can I create from my tailbone to the crown of the head, reaching to the diagonal of the room? Take the bar right to your sternum, shoulders down. You're going to lower down into the well. Exhale, lift straight up. Lower down into the well. Exhale, lift up. There's an imaginary wall behind me. My head, my shoulders, and my hips are up against it. So make sure you're not leaning forward. 2 more. Things are going to get intense here. Make sure you breathe. Last one. Now hold it halfway down. You're finding that straight line 6 times. Arms go up and over the head and down. Up and over the head and down. Too much? Hold the hands to the sternum. 2 more. Hands at the sternum or arms over the head 5 times. Lift up and down. 4, up and down. You've got it. 3, longer through the arms, longer through the waistline. 1 more, and relax. Put the elbow onto the headrest. Set your pole down. Reach the right arm long. Push into that strap and give yourself a glorious stretch. Second stretch, right hand to the wood, left hand to the other side of the wood. Drop your chest into the springs. All right, grab your pole. Bring yourself all the way up. We're going to keep that box where it is. Just set the pole down on the box for a second. A few changes are I want you to move the foot bar out of the way. And you're going to take it to your light spring or your blue spring. So not your lightest, but kind of a medium. This is going to be more inner thigh work with our skating. So the first thing you want to do is step up on the stable surface first. That's not going to go anywhere underneath you. And then you'll step up onto the moving surface. This is kind of why I like the box. I can use that for my balance. Pick up your pole and then stand up tall. I have a blue spring on, which means it is going to be easy to get out there, hard to get back in. So don't be too crazy about the pushing out. Shoulders back, chest up. We're going to take an inhale, push all the way out, but squeeze your glutes, squeeze your pelvic floor, and then use that to pull yourself all the way back in. Going out and pulling back in. Almost like you're trying to zip up the legs, zip up through the abdominals all the way up to the crown of the head. Inhaling out and exhaling back in. Good. We're going to use the pole in a minute. Right now we're just focusing on the legs. Last 2 here. 1 more. Good. Now the next time, bend your left leg to take the carriage out. Push the pole in front of you and then bring the carriage back in. I'm going to actually turn my palms up. I like that better. So it's more of an offering. So I'm going to push out with the right leg, bend the left leg. The majority of the weight is going to stay in my left leg for the whole time. I would say like 80% of the weight in the left leg. That right leg's just reaching out. And there is not a lot of weight. If you wanted it harder, actually, drop it even farther down. you can take it to your lightest spring. This is one of those exercises where more weight doesn't mean harder. More weight means easier, more stability. This is where less stability equals harder. Do one more and then hold it down. Bend the right knee in, press the right leg out. Bend it in, press it out. Bend it in, press it out. Good, I've still got majority of the weight in my left leg, and I'm just pushing the right leg in and out for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Come all the way in, stand up, take your pole and just set it down. Take your hands to the box, take your knees to the reformer, feet against the wood. Let's come onto your elbows. It's plank time. So you're gonna push out with your legs. You can push out with one knee. Some people like that, it gives them a little more stability, and then they can lift the other knee. Some people like to push out with both legs. So you find what works for you, just make it into your plank. When you're in your plank, push your heels back, tuck your tailbone, squeeze your abs, draw your shoulders back, and let's start moving the elbows out an inch and in an inch. Out an inch and in an inch. Okay, we're up for the challenge today. You can always rest between these exercises. Today, we're gonna try to go 3 exercises all in a row, no rest. Let's see if we can do it. No big deal if you can't, there's always tomorrow, so you can always rest if you need to. Next exercise, you're gonna bend the knees in towards the box, push it away. Bend in, push it away. You definitely don't wanna just go from one to the other and blast through it if your form isn't good. So think about quality of motion first. You can always rest between these. 2 more to go, guys. Last one will be pikes. Lift the hips high, pull the carriage in, lower the hips back into your plank, push the heels back. Nice. Last 2. Last 1. Good, now you can bring the knees in, set them down, and take a little rest. Just pushing into a little modified child's pose. Take a recovery breath. So, really, really, really good. Really, really good. Too exhausted to think of any more words. All right, come all the way up. Grab your pole. Come up to stand. Turn a quarter turn to your right. Your right foot's going to be on the gray surface. Your left foot's on the moving surface, and I like it pretty much right against the edge. Draw your shoulders back. Let's hold the pole with the palms up. Squeeze your pelvic floor. Tuck your tailbone. Squeeze your glutes. Go out very gingerly. Don't go out crazy because you got to pull it all back in. Squeeze it. That's the hard part. So it's almost like you're not letting yourself go out too quick, so you can pull it back in. Inhaling as you go out. Exhale. And just let the pole be a reminder that your shoulders are back and down. Your chest is lifted, but your ribs are in. Your abs are in. Focus on the exhale, pulling in. Really pressing those feet firmly into the carriage and the gray surface. 1 more time. And then you're going to bend the right leg, push the pole away from you, coming into that runner's squat, and then back, or like a lateral lunge. I don't know what a runner's squat is. That just came out. So a little lateral lunge, single leg, right leg bending, left leg stays super straight, pressing out and in. Keep that weight in the right leg. Let's go 2 more here, and then we've got our last one to go. So next time you're out, hold it. Keep the weight in the right leg. Bend your left leg. Push your left leg. Bend. Arms are mimicking the legs. They bend in, they push out. They bend in, push out. Two more. Last one. Come all the way in. All right, set the pole down. Turn to the box. Come back to your knees. This is our very last work. Okay, you can do it. One little series of planks, little stretch, you're done. Put your elbows onto the box. Again, you choose how to get out there. Either way, one leg or two legs. Make it out to your plank. Turn your toes to the right, your heels to the left. You're gonna feel more weight in your left elbow. That's normal. More work in the left oblique. Now bend the knees into the side, push the knees back out. Bend in and press. Two more. Last one. Again, you can take a rest. We're gonna try to work it all together. So you're gonna move your left arm a little bit so that your left elbow is in line with your left shoulder. You have the option of keeping the right hand down to the box for balance. Reach the right arm up to the ceiling to make it harder. Next option, you're holding a side plank, or you're doing a thread the needle, pulling the hips up and letting the hips come down. Super challenging to do this last variation, so stay where you can. We're taking 3 more breaths if you're holding, 3 more reps if you're moving, 1 more. Bring that arm down, turn your toes back to the front, find your plank, pull the knees in, and rest. I said we wouldn't rest, but let's rest. I think rest is good. Okay, let's do the other side. So recenter, get ready. We're gonna push all the way out. Turn your toes to the left. Feel that weight push in firmer into the right elbow. Bend the knees out to the left. Push, press it out. Use a breath that feels good for you. I'm just exhaling to press. Maybe it feels better for you to inhale, press. No breath is wrong as long as you're breathing. Last 2. Hold the next one out. I'm just gonna move my elbow a little bit over to the left and then turn the arm so that my elbow and shoulder are in a straight line. I have the most support with those the arm bones lined up. Left hand can be here for balance, or you can reach it for the full expression up to the ceiling. You're either gonna hold it 6 more breaths, or you're gonna move into that thread the needle. Hips go high, hips come down. Wherever you are, you're doing awesome. Just keep breathing. Two more breaths. 1 more. Come all the way in, set the knees down. You did it. Rest, take a breath, recover. All we have left is a little stretch. So come all the way up and off of there. We are done with the pole, we're done with the box. You can just set both of those to the side. Let's make a little change. So let's put the foot bar up, back to the mid position. Make sure it's locked in. Come onto your knees, feet up against the shoulder blocks. Come into a red spring. So I like my middle red spring. Take the blue off, so I'm on one heavy. I'm gonna push the carriage out just so I can see the floor. My right foot's gonna go to the floor on the side of the spring. I'm gonna push the carriage back and come into a nice lunge stretch. Now, what I don't want to do is let my belly just sag and kind of like right into the stretch. I'm going to lose a lot of it if I do that. So I'm going to actually try to tuck my tailbone, scoop my abs in, and resist the stretch a little bit. I'm also going to squeeze my left glute, and that's going to help the opposite opposing muscle relax. So squeeze the back side, let the whole front side release for you. Now make sure you're not locking the arms, bend the arms, let your shoulders just melt. We're going to work a progression with this stretch. This is number 1. You can always stay here the whole time. I'm sinking a little, I'm going to scoop in here. All right, next one, right foot's going to come up to the gray surface. We're going to push back out into that hip flexor stretch, feeling the left leg, release. And then we can add on a second portion. The right leg's going to reach straight and you're going to come into a hamstring stretch. Now, if you feel this is not a comfortable position on your knee, you can feel free to put a pad under that left knee. That might take some pain or alleviate any pain. Definitely don't want to be feeling pain. If you are, we can go to the next variation, which will not even have the knee down. So come all the way up. All right, so then we're going to lift the knee, pushing back into a lunge stretch. So my first part is the right shin's up against the foot bar, and I'm dropping into that stretch. But again, I'm not just collapsing, I'm pulling, almost like I'm trying to slide my legs into the sockets and keep them really active. My hips really square, so try not to let that left hip pop back. Keep them really square, and then straighten your right leg. Keep the hips square, push into that split, and then start to work the split down. And come on up. Bring the right leg back, set your knees down. Side number 2, take your left foot to the floor. Press the carriage back. Again, squeeze your right glute. Tuck your tailbone under, roll your shoulders back, lift your chest. And breathe. Most important, breathe. Moving on if you want. You can stay there the whole time if you like. The left foot's going to come onto the gray surface. The left shin's going to stay connected to the foot bar, and I'm going to push back with the right leg. Again, squeezing the glute, tucking the tailbone, pulling my abs in instead of letting them dump down. Second option, the left leg's going to reach out long, and I'm going to find that nice scissor. All right, third option, if you would like, pick up the right knee. Again, you've got to think of integrating. Think of everything hugging into the midline versus just letting that leg sink back. So I'm trying to bring my right hip forward, my left hip back, working my way into the lunge, and then I can extend the left leg into the scissor. And then bring it back in, set the knee down. Bring the left knee back to meet it. Push your hips back to your heels. Press your chest forward. Let your head relax forward. Close your eyes. Take 3 of the biggest breaths that you've taken today. Fill the lungs and then let it go. Do that one more time. And hopefully you feel a little bit more centered, a little stronger, a little more flexible, and ready to conquer your day. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope to see you next time. Bye.